Hey everyone, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today we're joined here with Sven.
Hi.
So yeah, basically we're just gonna do our normal 46 minutes of tactics, and yeah, before our round. So yeah, let's begin then. So this is more Alyakin. I refreshed the page, so I don't think it's the same. It's a puzzle we've done before. But let's give this a go. So you're happy for me to talk out loud? So?
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Safsara says finally catch a stream. Arav got banned. Got banned from the stream. Who banned him? I didn't ban him. Or did Arav get banned from something else? I wouldn't be surprised. Tricky 313 banned. Damn. But is this the real tricky? I don't even get. You know what? I don't even care, Safsara. Okay, let's actually solve this. So, we've got bishop and knight against bishop and knight, rook, queen, 3-5, 4-5. Okay, so we've got the same amount of material, but we've got a 4-3 and a 2v1. Oh, his Lichess. I wonder what abuse he was like hurling to his opponent to lead to that. That's incredible. Yeah, I have to investigate that. But yeah, okay, so what to note about the position? Well, our queen is being attacked by a pawn, but the pawn is pinned by the bishop on e4. That bishop on e4 is also under pressure from the queen on e7. Our rook on c1 is very active, pressuring c6, and the bishop's pressuring the knight on c6 as well. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of tension in the position. If I was playing this game, I probably wouldn't typically look for like a tactic here, but that's a problem. I should be looking for a tactic. So what ideas do we have? Okay. Maybe last things to note as well is the king is quite weak, our queen's on the same line, our knight is ready to jump in potentially. Our king is safer, but maybe there's some back rank issues potentially. Probably not with the rook on f1. But okay, I think also the bishop has some x-ray pressure on b7, also x-ray pressure on the king. Okay, I think that's enough to understand, so let's look at the candidate moves. We got queen takes h6, queen takes g6, bishop takes g6, got those are the checks. We've then got captures, like bishop takes c6 or rook takes c6. And then we've got threats. Knight f5 looks particularly interesting. Jumps out at me as something interesting. Yeah, I don't really see any other threats. I mean, maybe we should also consider just moving the queen away in case there's some tactics like queen takes e4, knight takes e4, and pawn takes h5, where we lose a queen, but then okay, actually the d6 rook is hanging, and knight can take on d6, so it's complicated. Okay, so I guess let's go with our checks first. Were there any other candidate moves then that you saw?
No.
Okay, right. So let's start with queen h6. So queen h6. Is king takes h6 forced? If they go king g8, is there an immediate win or something? I don't see the immediate win. Maybe like some knight h5 or something needs to be looked at later, but let's even see if it makes any sense, right? Queen h6, king h6. Can we follow up with anything? I mean, we've got this potential fork on f5, but there's a pawn on g6, and I don't see how we get rid of it. So I don't see any follow-up there. So, okay, queen g6. Queen g6, again, not forced to, actually no, it is forced to capture because if king h8, queen h7 mate, so queen g6, they have to capture either with the pawn or the rook, let's say with the pawn, to save the material. Is there any follow-up there? And again, I don't see one. Like, again, this bishop knight is too little, so it looks like we can't sack the queen. What about bishop takes g6 check? Again, maybe not forced, but okay, let's look at pawn takes g6. Don't really see how our pieces coordinate and help. So, okay, what about the captures then? Captures include bishop takes c6. Well, bishop takes c6, they take our queen. and I don't think we've got a good follow-up there. Rook takes c6. They can go bishop takes c6, and they've won an exchange. And what have we achieved from this? Absolutely nothing in my eyes. Like, removing that knight doesn't feel like it changes anything. Maybe the queen is now hanging after removing this knight, but I don't see how we exploit that. So then that finally means our threats, and this leaves me with knight f5, so I'm not feeling too optimistic about this puzzle, because knight f5. Knight f5, what can we do? Oh, wait a sec though. Knight f5 actually hits their queen, right? So they can't just take on h5, because we take on e7 with discovered check, and then we even pick up the knight on c6, so that looks really promising. So knight on f5, they can't take our bishop, queen takes e4, because just queen takes h6 and queen g7 mate. And knight f5, what else can we do? If they take our knight, we can go... What options do we have? I want to say queen takes f5 looks really promising, because if the king goes back to g8 or h8, we've got queen h7 checkmate. If knight f5, pawn f5, queen f5 check, king g7, do we have something there? At the very least, we've got a perpetual. We've got queen h7 check, king f6, queen f5 check, king g7. We've got a perpetual. I don't know if we want more from this position though. But I would say that another idea I saw is knight f5, pawn f5, queen f5. If rook g6, now we can take on c6, because the rook on g6 is now pinned. So on knight f5, were there any other starting candidate moves that I missed? So he doesn't have any checks. We looked at the capture on h5, we looked on the capture on e4, looked at the capture on f5. So the last thing to look at probably is, I mean, we're attacking the queen, right? So if the queen moves away, maybe the only reasonable square it can move to is maybe g5 to defend h6, but do we have something here? Yes, we can just trade him and pick up the rook. So in this position, knight f5, pawn f5, is bishop takes an improvement? Didn't think it would be. Because my only concern is after queen takes f5, what if king g7? I didn't see something immediately here. But maybe we've got check, forcing king f6, and maybe we've got queen takes h6, which forces king e5, which looks very, very dodgy for them. And then queen f4 check, forcing king e6, and queen f5 is checkmate. So okay, we've got a mating that. So that means knight f5 should be completely winning. Anything to add? Or are we happy? Nothing to add. Perfect. Okay. Knight f5, knight e7, f5 I didn't see. But probably just bishop takes c6. Seems good. Because the rook on c1 is defended, right? Yeah. Nice. Okay, so white wins a piece, and he could also have gone for knight f5, rook e6, but this is a little bit more complicated. Why would you do that? Just win the piece. And here, g takes f5, queen f5, rook g6, bishop c6, yeah. And I think, to be honest, they should give king g7 as a sideline as well. Like that checkmate wasn't so simple. Okay, let's check what chat is saying. So, Asanga says, great to see you. I met you in Hull. Are you playing this year? Asanga, welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you on the stream before, so welcome. And you met me in Hull. Asanga. Do I recognize the name Asanga? Or did you not go by Asanga in person? Because where did we meet in Hull? Because I've been to Hull quite a few times for chess and for non-chess stuff, so yeah, would be interesting to hear. But no, I'm not going to be playing in the whole tournament this year, actually. Yeah, I'll be traveling at that time, so I'm going to be abroad. Knight f5, nice job, Safsara. Wait a minute. Is this the legendary Thomas Ingo?
Not that I know.
I
I think I should know, right?
yeah, I have no idea. Is this one of those like words where you try and provoke the streamer to read out the name and then it actually says something else? Thomas Ingo?
Tom as Ingo. I don't know.
Tom ass Ingo? Bruh. Yeah, no, I hope it's not one of those where I'm gonna get clipped and then I'm gonna get cancelled by the internet for saying some racist slur or something. I saw some horrible ones like I remember as a kid seeing this stream where some girl was like bet like she can't lick her elbow or something, and by attempting to lick her elbow her whole top comes up and it's just it's so cursed. Like poor streamers. Okay, let's do another. So okay, what's the material like? 3, 4. Okay, I mean I have to admit it's like a 12-year-old kid or something and I found it hilarious at the time. So 5, 4. Okay, so we're a pawn up. We're playing Queen and Knight versus Queen and Knight. As we know, Queen and Knight are the best tag team for attacks. Despite being a pawn up, our a7 pawn looks really, really weak, and their a6 pawn looks really, really strong. So if we're not careful, potentially they can take and then they can pass pawn, but at the same time, okay, we've got this Queen and Knight. There are a lot of mating nets involving these pieces. Anything else to add? Maybe the e-pawn is isolated, could be a bit weak. The knight on f3 is sticky, the knight on f2 isn't, but looks very scary in white's camp. What about our own king, the black king? Is it actually safe? I mean, maybe it's safe-ish in the sense that it's got this escape square h7, but okay, like queen e8, king h7, queen takes f7 ideas could be a little concerning, but it looks a little bit safer than black's king in a way. So okay, candidate moves. What checks do we have? Okay, we've got queen f4, we've got knight g4. Any other checks? Queen takes e5, probably not legit. Okay, any captures? Got queen takes f3, knight takes h3. Okay, and that's it. And then threats. Maybe queen b1 is a threat, like the threat in queen h1 if I did something. Don't really see any of the threats. Okay, so let's start there. So let's look at our check. So queen f4 check looked promising to me at first. First of all, they can block with g3 potentially, but then okay, we pick up the knight on f3, and I think that should be winning for us. I mean, probably deserves a more thorough calculation in a second, but for now, let's just be content with that. So queen f4 check. If king g1 is indeed forced, do we have a nice follow-up here? And the move that I was considering here was knight takes h3, because if pawn takes h3, we can go queen g3 check. And wherever the king moves, f1 or h1, we can go queen takes f3 and we pick up the knight. And what we've achieved is winning a pawn. And that seems more or less forced. So queen f4 check, king g1, knight takes h3. What if they just move their king? Like if they go king f1. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe winning a pawn is enough, but maybe it's also not, right? Like, but also their plan of taking on a7, it feels really slow for them. But maybe it's also very strong. Like they can also speed it up with queen takes a7, queen b8 check, and then push a7 immediately, and already they're one move away from queening. So, yeah, okay. Before tunnel visioning this queen f4 business, let's just check all of our candidates briefly. So what about knight g4 check? Knight g4 check. If the king were to retreat to g1 or something, then queen b8 is going to be quite strong, although no, they can't block or anything. So yeah, and I guess knight g4, king h1, queen b1, knight g1 is maybe something, but let's first see if it makes any sense. Like knight g4, hg4. Is there any sense here? I don't see any sense in this move at all. So okay, that's all the checks. I mean, queen takes e5, but then we just lose the queen. So what about captures? Taking on f3, pawn f3 doesn't look so great. And that was the only capture, and then we didn't have any threats either. So at this moment in time, queen f4 looks like our strongest bet as a move. Queen f4, king g1, knight takes h3, king f1. What do we play there?
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Do we have queen d1 as a threat originally? Did we consider that?
Ah, queen b1 is a threat originally. Yes, indeed. I completely forgot. Yeah. So queen b1, is that even a threat? So with threats, I really like to just ask, like, okay, if we got an extra move, do we actually have something? So queen b1, if we go queen h1 check, king g3, maybe we've got knight e4 check, and the king has quite a few moves. It's got h4, g4, f4, but let's say f4 for now, hitting the knight. Don't really see what we've got there, and that's also giving black an extra move, right? So I feel like then it's not so promising. Are there any candidate moves that come to mind as a result of our calculation? Not really, not for me. So again, it comes back to this queen f4, king g1, knight h3, king f1. Is there a way we can at least just stay up a pawn? Can we just move the knight away somewhere, not lose the knight? In fairness, they can't even take the knight because f3 is still hanging. So in that position, after winning the pawn, is there actually something we can do? Maybe we can give a check on c1. So queen f4, king g1, knight takes h3, king f1, queen c1 check, and they can choose either knight e1 or king e2. King e2 looks scary though. They allow knight f4 check. And even in the case of knight e1 blocking, I feel like the knight can still come out f4 or g5 or something. So to me, it looks like our best bet. That's my feeling. So I think we can play it. Okay, and knight h3. So they even take. So here, I think rather than just take the knight immediately, we should give the check first, and then we can actually recapture with check. Because each tempo is going to be super important given a7 is hanging. So queen takes f3, queen a7 is a draw, exactly. And king h1, queen f3. After one or two more checks, black takes on a6. We can pick up the a6 pawn, and then white can still capture f7, so then black will be able to capture e5, if that makes sense. Cool. I've seen this guy in Krefeld.
That's very possible.
So then that's more promising.
Tournaments there.
Yeah. But this is not the legendary Thomas Ingo.
No, I don't know. Unfortunately not, but no. I'm not Thomas Ingo, I'm just Sven.
The legendary Sven. Also, welcome Yevgeny. Glad to see you on the stream again. How's it been going? I saw you drew your game yesterday. I can't remember if that was the game I saw where it felt like you were under a bit of pressure. No. Yesterday, actually, I didn't see your game at all because, as you know, I finished really, really quickly. But yeah, glad to see you here. I didn't actually realize you'd be in Dortmund, so good we could have a chat. What do you think is the missing ingredient to winning your games right now? Because I believe you're on two draws and a loss. So what do you need to get that point? Okay, let's do another puzzle. How are we doing for time actually? This is 1:36. Okay, I think we're doing all right. Maybe we'll do like one or two more. Nearing 2200 rapid, 2250 blitz ups are fantastic. Keep it up. Yeah, I mean, you can't be on the rise with all of your ratings at all times, so, we'll take what we can get. Okay. So we've got... Okay, so we're an exchange down, but we've got bishop pair against the rook. We've also got the fianchetted bishops, which is quite nice in open positions. Also, their development is really bad. Like, not only are their rook and bishop still in their start squares, their rook on d4 is actually being attacked right now. So, just purely just from first impressions, I would prefer white, even being the exchange down here. Like, I feel like we would have something. The question is what? So, it's actually white's turn to move, so that's even better. So, what candidates do we have? Maybe I should just make some more notes about the position. So, the rook on d4 is attacked. Maybe there's potential of queen c3 ideas with like checkmate on the dark squares. A bishop on g2 doesn't seem so effective right now. Like maybe it's just helping defend our king. Maybe f5 ideas. Okay, in the end, I'm actually coming up with candidate moves as opposed to understanding the position. I mean, I think the understanding is pretty clear. Like, he's just got a lack of development and his rook is hanging. So, okay, so let's think here. So, okay, candidate moves. Bishop takes d4, of course. Any more captures? No. Okay, what about there are no checks, of course. So what about threats? Queen c3 looks threatening. Maybe f5 threatens to disrupt black's defense. Maybe rook d1 in the sense that, like, yeah, maybe we're trying to crash down on the d file, but probably not. Any other threats that need to be seen? Don't see them. Okay, well that's something to start with. So let's start with the capture. If bishop takes d4, queen takes d4. We have equal material. We also get in rook d1. Oh, as a backup, I really like this line. Like, I feel like rook d1, they probably need to go back to b6 maybe to protect d8. Yeah, it's very close to having something. But I think I wouldn't even go further than that for now. I feel like it's not immediately winning. Let's consider our other candidates. So what about queen c3? Queen c3, if the rook moves, we checkmate. So queen c3, they can't move the rook. They can also not defend the rook except for c5. So queen c3, c5 is actually forced. They don't have any counter checks, they don't have any counter threats. And we're threatening to win the rook, not just win the exchange. So queen c3, they need to play c5. And then, what candidates do we have? Well, we still want to try and win this rook somehow, so b4 would be a candidate. Any other candidates? Maybe rook c1. Maybe we could swing the queen somewhere, but not quite seeing it. Like maybe, no, queen h3 blunders the queen. I was trying to get to h6 or something. No. Okay, so queen c3, c5, what about b4? This looks really like the best promising move, because I have a big threat. I'm threatening to take on c5 and then take the rook. So queen c3, c5, b4. Can he do that? He still can't move the rook. If he spends a move to play like f6 or something to defend a threat, the point is taking on c5 comes with tempo, and then I pick up the full rook. So to be honest, queen c3, c5, b4 looks really, really winning. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, maybe. So I also like this line. Okay, let's say queen c3, c5, b4. Let's say we play something like f6. Then b takes c5. Can we play rook c4? This position.
We still win a rook because we would go pawn takes b6, rook takes c3, and we take on c3. So we're not.
Wait. The queen is on c3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a
then
good
it
line.
doesn't work, yeah.
Definitely a good line that needs to be considered. But yeah, I think from there, this actually feels extremely winning and the best plan. So I think we go for it. And f6. Okay, so we might even see this on the board, but taking c5 should be enough. It comes with double threat. Nice. Okay, so what are people saying? So Yevgeny says, the first round I knew 21 moves of theory, and and then had a chance to win a pawn with a weird tactic, but didn't see it, and did the logical move, which leads to a draw. What opening is this, Jenny? Because I'm gonna bet my bottom dollar that it's a mainline. Like, that sounds like such mainline kind of situation, where it's like you play 21 moves of theory, and then it's better according to engine, but then you need to know the precise move and idea, and if you don't, then it just peters out to a draw. It's like, yeah, I don't think, if you need 21 moves of Benoni theory, you're winning. So, yeah, there's a difference. The second game, I wanted to play for a win against 2170. Okay, already that's where you have the mistake, in the sense that, like, for me, the reason why this tournament has been going so well is because I'm literally happy with a draw in every case. So it kind of puts like some pressure on my opponent to try and win, because ultimately, yeah, the 2170 doesn't want to draw. So you don't need to play for a win in order to beat them. It's strange. It sounds strange, but it really works like this. But okay, you wanted to play for the win against the 2170 in a park, but didn't play perfectly. Had to defend. Yeah, this was the one when I watched some of the game, and I thought actually, yeah, I was surprised you managed to get the draw and not lose. Oh no, wait, you did lose. okay, that makes sense then. But you managed to come back, get to a drawn endgame, and then managed to lose. That's painful. And then yesterday, I gave my opponent an early chance, but he didn't use it, and the game was equal for the rest of the game. Okay, so to be honest, it sounds like fairly decent chess. Yeah, close fights. So you've missed out narrowly on one draw, and you've got two other draws. Okay, let's just hope that the prep works out in your favor for today and for future rounds. And okay, sounds like yeah, having a decent tournament. Like you're holding your own against these stronger players, which is what we like to see. So yeah, good luck today. So Sarah says I need to start playing international tournaments. Would be fun to meet Mike in one of those. Aliekin, my guy, love your opening. Yeah, exactly. Okay, maybe we finish with one more, Sven?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do one more. Probably again, we're not going to do 46 minutes of training today. First game is a Russian system Grunfeld. Okay, so yeah, Grunfeld, very main line, makes a lot of sense. With the white pieces or black pieces, actually? Yeah, Jenny. Okay, let's do one final puzzle. Right. Okay, so we've got bishop, knight, queen, rook, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so equal material. King safety wise, black's king is a bit weaker given that we've got this discovery. Our king is also a bit exposed with this like f2 pawn gone, but doesn't seem like, you know, if black had a dark squared bishop that could attack us, then we'd be much more worried. Okay, what else to note about the position? So the pawn structure is different, right? We've got this isolated pawn on d5, but it is a pass pawn. And black has a 3 versus 2 on the king side. Also, our queen is being attacked. Let's not forget that. We've got this discovery with d6. I remember doing a bunch of these how to beat your dad at chess tactics, which all like, it's a really stupid name for a book because it's basically just 50 common checkmate puzzles for the 1e4 player. And I didn't really realize that when I got it, but I just saw it had great reviews and I thought it would improve my tactics. And actually, these kind of motifs where you basically have this bishop shining down on this diagonal, you suddenly have a lot of ideas. So like these ideas with like knight g6 and rook h3, it like starts to jump out at you, right? So, okay, let's actually start calculating here. Also, welcome Frizz, welcome Gloin. And okay, for white, playing against the Grunfeld. Yeah. I mean, luckily for me, I don't need to ever face Grunfeld. Actually, my opponent today plays Grunfeld, but I won't get into it, so it's fine. Okay, so candidates, we have d6 check, and that's the only check. Captures, don't even see any captures.
There's no legal capture.
No legal captures, yeah. So, okay, and then what about threats? Maybe knight g6 could be a threat, it attacks the queen. I feel like maybe we'll get some resulting threats if d6 doesn't work, but d6 has to be looked at, right? D6 has to be looked at. So thanks for the move spoiler first, so I don't look. So okay, d6, what moves can they play? So they can block. They can try and block with like the bishop, or they can try and block with the rook. But let's first look at what happens if king h8. So d6, king h8. I would want to go knight g6 check, which is very forcing because it forces pawn takes g6, and then I'd go rook a3, which is actually checkmate. So d6, that means they need to block with a piece. So if they block, let's say with the rook f7, what can we do here? At the very least, we can go bishop takes rook, king takes a bishop, queen d5. Queen takes knight takes, and we have an exchange up. But they can take on d6. Maybe this isn't the clearest. Maybe we have like a exchange for a piece and a pawn. I don't know if that's completely enough to be happy. Take on d6. Yeah, not quite sure. So d6, rook f7. Do we have any other options here? Maybe, this is an absolute pin, right? So maybe we can change the move order. Maybe we can play queen d5. If queen d5 there, and he tries to hold his rook with like queen f6, maybe this is a different scenario, right? Maybe we can go queen takes f7, queen takes f7, bishop f7, king f7, and here we actually have the extra move to play a move like rook d1 and protect our d pawn, where we're a clean exchange up and have this strong pawn. So that looks like a much better scenario, and actually a position I'm completely content with. So d6, finally there's bishop e6, in which we can just go bishop takes e6, and we get the check, and this is completely winning a piece up. So for me, d6, I'm happy. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I also like d6. And after rook f7, I think could also look at d7.
Oh wow. Oh, that's cool. But d7, what if they... Yeah, because they can't take with the bishop, because then we go queen takes.
Go into the
Yes. Oh, that's a cool move. d7. Yeah, it's definitely fancier. So
also queen c5 is to consider.
It's a check. Oh man.
Gets complicated.
Yeah.
So maybe in a practical game, maybe you have something else and we know it works. Maybe
Exactly.
d7.
Yeah. But I mean, if d7 is winning on the spot, then maybe it's worth playing, right? But is it? Kind of looks like it is. I mean, okay, we know d6 is right, so let's see if they even block with the rook. Of course they don't.
Okay. So much for that.
Yeah. And they don't even look at... like Woodpecker, like as much as it's a great book, it's had some really lazy writing, I think. Like you have to put rook f7 as a candidate variation. Like, it's absolutely... Yeah. Complete laziness on their part to not play rook f7. Wow, d7 top move +7. Let's go, Sven. Nice. And actually, how was my move? Did I give up the whole advantage or something? They can do it like this. Right. So I thought that, yeah, if they have to spend the move defending, then I'm very happy to enter this position, right? But I didn't consider enough candidate moves for my opponent. Like this position is clearly winning. Okay, if I can use a touchpad. With rook d1 was my idea, which apparently isn't even... Yeah, bishop d7 blocks, but I still thought we're doing really well here. But the thing I missed was actually, at this moment, they don't have to play queen f6, they can just trade and then take the pawn like this. Yeah. Which thankfully is still winning, so if I did make this mistake in a game, it's not horrendous, but actually, yeah, this rook f7, d7, very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, nice. Let's see if anyone got this answer. So first is move spoiler. Is it d6, king h8, knight g6, h6, rook h3? Yeah. So this is indeed checkmate. d6, king h8 versus knight g6, but d6, bishop e6, bishop takes. Yeah. So no one actually gave this rook f7 line. I feel like rook f7 was like super important. Why is there a 1v1 game in Dortmund? That's a very good question, actually. Do you know why, like, Elizabeth Pitts and
Oh,
Wagner are playing?
They're selling it like top woman in Germany. That's
Do a match, yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth Pitts for a long time was the undisputed champion in that regard. And now Dina Wagner, I think, for some time became number one rating wise. So now it's interesting. So now they
have a big
use
match.
that opportunity for a big match.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I guess if it's like between two players, then it kind of makes it worthwhile to have a match. Yeah. Who's the number? I guess it's just Keimer, right, in Germany right now.
It has to be.
Yeah. There's no one close.
Oh, I don't know the details. I think Kuschenbit and Gustafsson are also good, but I think they're like 2600 players. I don't know.
And past their prime, right?
Yeah, Gustafsson for sure.
Yeah.
At least in terms of his playing strength, I guess. Keimer is 2700.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, he has to be a strong player.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. So that's your answer, Safsara. Do you have another game today? Yes, we have another game. Okay. IM versus GM match. Oh, is Elizabeth Pitts a GM?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She's
Okay.
a GM. Yeah.
I didn't know she crossed 2500. That's amazing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Tricky, explain yourself. How on earth did you get banned from Lichess? I hope it wasn't from like verbally abusing someone online. Or even worse would be cheating with Stockfish. So you've got a tough situation to talk your way out of. I found out something funny. Capablanca once said, "I only calculate one move, the best move." Maybe that's why he missed so many tactics. Yeah, could be. I know Capablanca was very intuitive and believed in his intuition. So yeah, that could definitely be why. I mean, why Capablanca was getting roasted as well in Woodpecker. He was cheating in the tournament. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna believe either of you right now. I'll read Araf's long essay of how he got banned on Lichess another day, I'm sure. But okay. On that note, I think I better head to the venue. And yeah, thanks Sven for joining.
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys next time.